Welcome to the Morgan Show. I'm Burnett alongside Gardner. I'm really excited for what this year's athletics are going to look like. Tay, what about you?
I'm pretty excited too. We're kind of getting off to a slow start, but both teams have a chance to redeem themselves. Volleyball's going out to D.C. today, hope to bring home their first win. Also, football will be at home this Saturday at 12, looking to get their first win.
Our athletics are looking a little different this year with the new athletic director and new coaches for football, volleyball, and wrestling. The sports that we have in season right now are football, volleyball, and cross country. All of that and more on today's edition of The Morgan Show.
Morgan State's football program looks very different from last season. For starters, they have a new head coach in Damon Wilson. Also, the team has a new quarterback, grad transfer Carson Baker from Western Kentucky. Baker earned the job as starter and captain over this past summer.
Just his poise and his experience kind of helped him get the job. He's been through some things at each place, and it's helped him over the other guys in his decision making.
Right, I think my experience, my 5th year of football in college, I think that plays a big role, and just earning the respect and trust from the guys on the team is something I tried to do when I first came in. So,
offensive coordinator B.T. Sherman works closely at the hip with Carson to help him with his game.
He gives us a game plan every week, and he expects us to execute that game plan. He's just, game planning against a specific team we're playing and what looks we think they're going to be in, and trying to put our guys in the best situation to have success.
So our thing, our offense is balanced. It's kind of take what the defense gives you kind of thing. So the first few plays we called were actually RPOs that turned into runs.
The offense is making progress when you compare how they looked in camp to now. They're starting to find their rhythm.
Just from week 1 to week 2, it's, we all are new here. Me and Carson kind of got here at the same time, so you don't know who to kind of spread the ball out to. I think we saw a big improvement in that. I thought he made some good decisions week 1, but now week 2, me and him both got to see who we needed to put the ball in their hands.
Morgan State is prepping for this Saturday's game against Sacred Heart University. The game will be played here at home, Hughes Memorial Stadium, at 12 o'clock.
Thank you, Darius. Morgan's Alfonso Graham is leading the MEAC with 195 rushing yards, and he also has 3 touchdowns, 2 rushing and 1 receiving.
And to touch a little bit on the defensive side, Morgan's own linebacker, Lawrence Richardson, is 3rd in the MEAC for tackles. He had 6 in his first game and 13 against last weekend's game against Towson.
Now we have Lake Marion with 5 takeaways from the game this past weekend at Towson.
I'm Lake Marion, and here are my top 5 takeaways from the Morgan State versus Towson game. Number 1, trouble stopping the run. Morgan allowed Towson to rush for a total of 230 yards combined, 124 of those yards belonging to quarterback Terrell Pigram. Morgan had a tough time stopping Towson's run game early on. Besides Pigram's 124-yard rushing day, the rest of the team had 106 yards. Number 2, not many 3rd down and 4th down stops. Towson went 7 for 13, 54% on 3rd down, and 2 for 2 on 4th down. 3rd downs are one of the most important downs in the game. Completing them helps the team extend their drives on the field and allows them to control the clock. Morgan, however, went 5 for 11, 45% on 3rd down, and 0 for 3 on 4th down. Towson took advantage of those completions and made Morgan pay the price by coming out with points on most of their drives. Number 3, struggle in the passing game. Morgan struggled early passing the ball. Quarterback Carson Baker had started 0 for 6 in the first quarter. He did not complete his first pass until late in the second quarter of the game. Baker would finish the game with 10 completions out of 24 passing attempts, but he struggled most of the game early on. He threw 2 passing touchdowns and 1 interception. Number 4, Alfonso Graham has another huge rushing day. After his 106-yard rushing game against Georgia Southern last week, Graham continued to have a good rushing day against Towson. He led Morgan in rushing for the 2nd straight week with 89 yards and had 18 yards receiving with 1 touchdown, totaling 107 yards. Graham is showing promise to the Bears' running game, He would be major in the offense this season and should continue to be utilized. And finally, number 5, running the ball will help Morgan succeed. Morgan is averaging 161 yards after 2 games this season, 172 yards in the first game and 150 in the second game. If Morgan continues to run the ball well, they will have better time of possession in their games and will be able to manage the clock. The only problem with Morgan running the football is that they abandon the run once they are down in the game. The team likely will have to rely on passing the ball to keep up with their opponents.
Morgan State's volleyball team has a new head coach taking the reins for the 2022 season. Ziamar Ortiz becomes the 7th coach in the team's program. Coach Ortiz spent last season as an assistant coach at Shippensburg University. Coach Z wants to set a tone here at Morgan, establishing a grit mentality.
We talk a lot about our gritty mentality, and actually one of our quotes right now is being a fountain, not a drain. So really looking at how we support each other on the court, how we feed into each other, how we can empower each other to go after everything that we can, and really looking to be really gritty about it.
Coach Ortiz talked about the leadership in senior Melanie Battle and the unselfishness in assist leader Mackenzie Jefferson.
It's nice to have that sense of composure on the court. She definitely is more of our calm players and a nice, easy sense for the girls. Mackenzie Jefferson has really stepped up for us as far as her IQ of the game. Her position allows for a lot of fluidity, and you really do have to be a selfless player as a setter. So looking at sharing the ball and really creating opportunities for our hitters is something that she continuously is pushing.
The season so far has not gotten off to a great start, but Coach Ortiz and the Lady Bears are building a tribe for the future.
Welcome back to the Morgan Show. Now time for the Where Are They Now segment, where we take a look at a Morgan State athlete.
My name is Candyce Beazer with the Morgan Show with the Where Are They Now segment. And here we have Mr. AJ. First thing I want to talk about is your experience here, as you were a Morgan athlete, a football player to be exact, and you played defensive line for all 4 years. How was your experience here at Morgan as a student athlete?
As a student athlete, I could say my experience was fun. And I'm not going to lie, it was tough and hard at the same time. But actually being with my teammates and the bond that I made on and off the field, actually what made it even more fun, I could say. So it was a good sacrifice that I had to make with the work that I had to do, because I studied electrical engineering while I was at Morgan. So we'll go into early practices, early 6 a.m. workouts, and then have to make that long walk to the engineering building. And I know everybody knows that the engineering building is far. And then a battle of staying up while in class too, and just getting your assignments done and doing your work while you're traveling as well. And actually my freshman year, there was actually a senior engineer major that was on the football team. And then he looked at me and he said, "You might as well just give up because it is hard and it's tough." That's what he said to me. And I was just like, okay. And then that just gave me more motivation to work hard. And when it comes to engineering, it was hard to get advisement from Morgan State, the athletic department, only because they're short staffed and there's not that many people to advise that big team. So I kind of had to advise myself when it came to classes. Certain classes I couldn't take. I had to take co-requisites, prerequisites, and fix my own schedule myself. So that was tough. I came in 2014 and I graduated in 2019. And I graduated with electrical engineering. And right now, I currently am a systems engineer at Booz Allen in Hamilton. So.
And how did your time here at Morgan, being a student athlete, shape your current career?
Honestly, it's just about being a competitor. When it came to work and being a student athlete, I just transitioned my mindset through competing to trying to be the best I could possibly be in all the phases of my life, honestly. So when it came to work, it was just me just taking the time to study my resume, and I fixed my resume, and also my wife helped me with my resume because I'm currently married right now. And that actually helped out a lot. And then also just taking time to myself to realize that, okay, I need what's best for myself and best for my family, because while I was at Morgan, my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, was pregnant with my first son. So I had to buckle down and make sure the whole family was straight before anything else. So.
Mm-hmm. And going back to what you said about your teammates, what do you think like makes a good team, like a good team dynamic?
Let's say who you are on the field, you should be the same way on the classroom. Whereas you get extra reps, if you want to be the best you could possibly be, you get extra reps off of the field, and you get extra reps on the field. So do that. I can say do the same thing when it comes to studying.
Okay. And my last question is, what would you want to see like this season from the school?
It's always freezing.
This season, I want to see us win homecoming. I want us to see, honestly, I want to be able to come back to the school and just see the football program just, happy and just winning a couple of games and just flying around, honestly, and just being the best that they could possibly be. And that's about it.
Okay. Well, that was all my questions for you today. Thank you so much for doing this interview.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Welcome again to the Morgan Show. Next week, we'll update you on the outcome of this weekend's football game and also preview volleyball's upcoming home season opener against North Carolina Central and South Carolina State University.
I'm Gardner.
And I'm Burnett. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.